Hello, everyone. My name is Tina Mello. I used to be married at one point and lived in Germany, and my name was Tina Kufner. That was or Kufner, the way the Americans pronounce it. Anyways, I have been meaning to do this video. Now it's definitely something I need to do. I want to let you know that I'm not only a designer and a teacher, but before, back in when I had my first children, I started getting into medicine. Medicine that people in Germany, families and moms and parents that I was around at the time, we were doing research because it was our first time as parents. So apparently my son Matthias, my second, was born with a lot of illnesses. And he seemed to be, they vaccinated him or gave him antibiotics the first 3 days of his life. And from that point on, he was sick, constantly sick. And this is why I went down this journey, because we always have a reason of why we have the information we have and how we learned it. It's because something happens in your life that makes you go down the path to do research to try to solve the problem. So ever since he was given antibiotics the first 3 days that he was born, he was nonstop having problems with throat, ears, nose. I mean, it was just constant battling a sickness that it was like around the clock. And so this doctor, and I will show you right now, because of course I have everything. His name was Dr. Felko. Now this is it. This is the actual documentation, and I'm going to read it, okay? Now this doctor was a doctor that my ex-husband found. His name was Dr. Oscar Felko. He was in Munich, and he recommended, I was giving medicine to my son, who was like less than a year old already, all these things. It was called Suprax. Okay, it was Muscosolvan cough syrup, 3.7 milliliters, 3 times a day, morning, afternoon, and night. The Suprax was 5 milliliter in the morning and in the evening. Then Auryvedic, which was like this nose spray, and that was 30 times, morning, noon, and night. Then Nazavine, now that's another spray, and that was in the morning, afternoon, and night. And then Florex Augentropfen, which is 2 drops in each eye, morning, noon, and night. And then Trosprumian inhalator. Okay, so, and then of course blue lighting. I mean, this became so outrageous after a while, and it pained me to see my son suffering. I mean, it was just, I was like a full-time nurse, and I said, I kept saying, your remedy is not working. My son is not getting better. He just keeps getting sick after the last one. Of course, antibiotics, and then of course, I'm going, well, I don't understand. What you're doing is not making him better. It just weakens his immune system, and it keeps keeping him on a cycle of being sick. So then I started getting sick. So then we have bronchitis, bacterial infection, catarrh, ears, nose, and throat. Everything to do. So basically, and a machine for breathing, steaming in the room. So you get to a point where you're like, okay, this doctor, this medicine, it just keeps, I heard about the immune system and how this is not, it lowers your immune system. So when the next virus comes around, your immune system's not able to protect yourself. So every time you hit yourself with antibiotics, it kills your immune system. So then if you're around anything or anyone, or they release something, you're definitely going to catch whatever it is. I mean, your body is already not back to where it is. So here we go. Then finally, I have some great friends, Tina Shelley, and great parents in Munich that don't do the modern medicine that my ex-husband was so trained to use. So they brought me to Dr. Nadam, an Ayurvedic doctor who comes from India, and a person named Ginger who was a practitioner. Now there you really have to know your chakras, Pitta, Kapha, and Vata. So of course I come in, get an appointment with me, my sons, both sons, Joseph, Matthias. I'm going, okay, got an issue here. Nothing is working. It's already 3 years in. So now on the 5th, the 27th of May, no, the 5th, it's German's backwards always. Okay, so on the May 27, 2003, here's my Ayurvedic day that I went to the first Ayurvedic practitioner. It's all in German. And I was living in Hohenbrunnerweg, and there was some really beautiful people there. Of course, that is a very elite location there. So right away, they said, our immune system is shot. Everything's out of balance. So what the Indians do best is they have been given 35 million years of medical industry healing knowledge. And what the Chinese did is they went over to India back in centuries ago, and they learned from the Indians. They took it back to China, which acupuncture actually is Indian, not Chinese, but the Chinese know how to market it and called it their own. But in reality, the Chinese took all of the Indian knowledge, brought it back, marketed it, and made it their own. So they copycat because they don't know how to create things on their own. Sorry. Anyways, that's where I learned, and this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to start teaching you guys what I've learned. So here's Dr. Nadam. He's been our doctor. So this is the reason why I know all this, since I've been doing it since 2003. When I found out that my son, that he wanted to give cortisone to my son Matthias, who was breaking out in hives, and he had a fever of over 106, and I was panicking one night, and I know that he happened to be in Munich that day. I called him, and this Dr. Felke wanted me to give him cortisone depositories versus ghee. This is like, it's purified butter. I mean, it's just purified butter. And I remember having a conversation. I'm panicking at this point because I have a cortisone capsule here. I have the Dr. Nadam on the phone saying, Tina, calm down. Just put the ghee all over your son's body. And he's in the bathtub at this point. I've got this little baby in a bathtub. Now, cortisones, I've already given it to him before. He repeated with the scarlet fever. It's called scarlet fever. He's already had it 3 times. So Dr. Nadam said, just try it. There's nothing you can do. Just try it. Just try it. Before you put the cortisone suppository in his popo, just try it. So I grabbed some ghee. I started rubbing it on his body while he was crying. I mean, you have no idea how awful it is to be a mother, and your child, who you have unconditional love for, is suffering, and you're by yourself. Of course, you're always with your children by yourself while your husbands are traveling, and you just feel so helpless. So I put the ghee all over his body, and then you would not believe. I mean, it was like a miracle. It was like Jesus. Jesus knew all the herbal things. They all thought it was a miracle worker, but what he was trying to do is show you have the power to cure yourself or others when you have the knowledge to what to use for what purpose and when. So I put the ghee on my son Matthias all over his body, and then suddenly all those little red spots from scarlet fever suddenly just disappeared. I swear to God. I was like, I couldn't believe it. And then he stopped crying, and it was done. I was like, I can't believe it. It's just butter. And you're thinking, okay, to cure yourself, you need to like go to a doctor, get prescription, get medicine. Nature is our medicine. We are our own doctors. We know our body more than anyone. Okay, so the only thing what this teaches us, especially now, because now the subject is really here in front of our faces, is that whatever you put into your body, they treat our bodies like trash cans. We consume whatever they produce and we don't ask questions. So here is one for a story of many, because I'm going to go through other things that I do, like the recipes and stuff that I've been slowly giving to friends over the years. I mean, people that were suffering and kept going to the doctors, I told them try this, and then guess what? They called me back and said, Tina, oh my God, it was gone in like 3 days. So I do know what I'm talking about, okay? Happen to be doing this for a long time, and I think maybe now it's something that I should share. So ghee, this definitely has to be in your kitchen. It's just, you can even just make it at home. You don't have to buy it. You get butter, you put it on a stove, you do it really low, because then all of a sudden the fat rises. You skim it, but don't burn it. Be careful. I've done it a few times. Skim it and then put it through a cheesecloth or some kind of cloth to keep the fat from going. So it should be pure yellow. Okay, and then you put it in a glass, cover it, store it. Even the older it is, the more, oh God, the more powerful it becomes. So this is not something you put in the refrigerator to keep it out. Well, when you do it at home, I think you might be able to, but I checked on that. So anyways, so between that, I want to tell you about what everyone does to cleanse and detox your body, okay? It's called the mung dal. The mung dal soup is what Dr. Nanam puts everyone on right away, because what happens is it balances your chakra. Chakra is Pitta, which is fire. Vata is air. Kapha is more bulky, oily. So people that are overweight, it's because their kapha level is so high. And guess what? These are all in books. I mean, there's so many books on Ayurvedic medicine. And whenever you have an illness, it means that one of those three are out of balance. So if you cut down on certain foods, like me, I had this mouth issue that wouldn't go away for like a year. And that's why, another reason why I went to go seek, I was constantly seeking a way to cure my son, and then also me. So I had like a huge canker sore. It was like, maybe Oktoberfest, who knows? But I couldn't even drink water. It would hurt. My mouth would be a one gigantic canker sore. It was like inside, outside, everywhere. So found out that my Pitta, which is fire, was too high. So I was told to cut down on tomatoes. Anything tomatoes. Oh my God, I can't eat tomatoes because that's too acidic. It would just raise that up on me. So that's what I'm saying. A lot of things that people suffer from, it is not a virus. It's what you're consuming. And trust me, I was eating healthy in Munich. We weren't getting chemtrails and we weren't getting sprayed. So why do I have this thing in my mouth? It's because my body is different from your body. And everybody's body's different. So we can't be all put into one big pot and say, this is the medicine that's going to cure everything. That's insanity, and it's stupidity, and it lacks common sense. All our bodies, DNA are not even the same. We don't look the same. So, getting back, we have, So right away he was telling me that because of my cysts, and I was cystic too. So he gave me a whole things to do. And we also have an Italian doctor. And I'm going to put the Italian doctor that worked for Dr. Nanam, God rest his soul. Dr. Nanam got off the plane from Dubai like 2 months ago. And everybody's like, what? I mean, even his family's like shocked. He just spoke to them right when he landed off the plane in India. And suddenly he died while he was going through the airport. So I find it fishy, knowing that everything's going on right now. I find that fishy. And I know that a lot of practitioners that were out there that were very famous, giving the secret out to everyone about their immune system and everything, they all suddenly died, they were suicided. So you know that Big Pharma has been getting rid of all those people that were out there for this purpose now, so they would not be there at this time to warn people on what to do. Now, the latest thing from Dr. Nanam from India, they said, if if you need to breathe, put boiling water with turmeric in it and breathe that. Okay, that's like a respirator. And of course, oxidized water, which is of course very important right now because a lot of people here are not been breathing very well. So here we go. The mung dal soup recipe. I'm going to read it in German. Okay, it starts with mung dal. You get it at your patals in Rhode Island or in Indian shops. They come in green, whole, and split yellow. So here's my little setup here. That's definitely mung dal. And in the mung dal, you have to put coriander powder. I will put the recipe down there in English. Coriander powder, turmeric. You see how I have it in glass, not plastic. Plastic, get rid of all your plastic containers. Cumin, black pepper, salt, Himalayan or sea. Okay, no, actually Himalayan is better because they've been poisoning the water, the ocean, so it's better to go for the mountain salt. And then we have ghee, fresh curry leaves, tastes like lemon. We have cilantro, which is to top it off, and you boil it. You boil it in a pot for like 6 hours, but you have to rinse the beans overnight to get rid of it, and it'll put a lot of water because it does fill up. That'll help cook quicker, and it takes a while, so read the recipe. And this is very important too. For some reason, this is another Indian product, which is kind of like a salt, but it's called asafoetida powder, and this is what it looks like. So look for that in your Indian shops because that is also a really important ingredient. And of course, ginger. Avoid powdered ginger. Okay, it's always better fresh. You've got the organic and the Chinese version. Take your pick. And little hot peppers. Cut them off just a little bit. And that is the mung dal. Second, I want to share with you guys is Purium. This thing is a plant-based product. They test for 95 different things that they know that you know who has been putting in the food, the water, and everything in the air. So I take my breakfast. Purium, it's a green, it's all plant-based. The super amino, 23 means it works in 23 minutes. And then the biomedic, which helps get rid of all that plastic and Monsanto put in the food out of your gut, because in Ayurvedic medicine it always says the most important part of your body is your stomach. And because your stomach is so full of that stuff that you eat that doesn't come out when you go to the bathroom, it stays in your gut. It's always your stomach and your gut. That is like the most important part of our bodies, because if you infect that, you get sick. And of course, there is at night the apothecary. This is like the 40-day or 30-day. And I highly recommend it because then you have everything that you need. And I'm going to tell you very quickly what this is for. So, the Power Shake improves energy, reduces cravings, fuels your cells, creates satisfied feeling. Okay, not only that, you're having all the greens. And then the Biomedic detoxifies glyphosate. That's the key word that you've been eating through your frozen foods, canned foods, and fast foods, and all that stuff that you shouldn't be eating. It improves digestion, boosts mood and immunity. Maybe there'll be less people having depression. Whoa, wouldn't that be a surprise? And you know what else causes depression? Frequency, music, that hard rock, high techno, all that music that they have changed the frequency on. Go look up Schumann resonance. It's now even higher than before. They have one on Twitter. If you look it up, they even have a Twitter. They have a day by day how it's looking. So that's why the whole TV frequency, radio frequency, phone frequency, everything keeps getting higher, and our bodies don't have the same frequency. So that causes flu-like symptoms. 5G and higher, if we don't put a stop to it, it's going to get worse. And it's all because you're surrounded by all this frequency, and your body is getting destroyed by being around it. 6 feet away from a phone with someone else's phone. Get it? I never thought of that. Turn off your internets at night, please. And stay away from your phones, and do not carry them on your body unless you've got some protective covering, because it clearly states in the directions. If you look, they warned you, but you don't listen or read the directions. Now, the apothecary, it improves sleep, reduces free radicals damage. Sound familiar? Ooh, beautify skin. Ooh, see? Do you know that they put chemicals in those skin products of yours, including toothpaste? Germans don't have fluoride in their water. They never have. It's all calc. It's limestone. You don't use fluoride products. Go for coconut toothpaste. Coconut's another very important element in the Ayurvedic. And this is coconut cream, fluoride free, 99% earth. It's got pineapple extract, strawberry extract, and bamboo powder. So that one is from Jason. And getting back to that, so beautiful skin. So stay away from those products, because guess what? You're putting it, not only you're taking in the poison, but you're also putting it on your face. So they'll sell more products, lie to you about it's supposed to good for your skin, especially foundation, all that stuff. People don't understand it ages you. It causes more wrinkles. Just because they tell you that it doesn't mean it does. And also, your skin will get more beautiful if you eat the right foods. So do you get it? If you eat the right foods, your skin becomes clearer, your nails become harder, your hair becomes stronger. Don't you understand? Everything you put in your body, that's what makes you beautiful. Your food, you are what you eat. Remember that. So, and the apothecary also creates healthy response to inflammation. So, inflammation, key word. So, do you see? It is definitely important. Then the pure vegan protein. It creates lean muscle, burns fat, tightens skin, fat, face, and improves mental acuity. So you know what? I used to be, people who know me in high school and middle school, they used to say to me, Tina, where do you get all your energy from? And I couldn't figure out, like, why do I have more energy? What do you mean? And it didn't occur to me until now that when I was younger growing up, my dad put me on a plane my brother at 6 years old and sent us to the Azores in Portugal, St. Michael. And we would spend 3 months, the whole entire summer, literally, like the last day of school, we'd be on the plane. We'd come back one day before school starts. So I was pretty much on the island the whole summer growing up, every summer for summer break. And what I did on the island was I was outside all day long. I was chasing chickens, watching, being in the mountains, being at the ocean every day, being in fresh air, eating food that was grown and made and bread baked from the baker in the town. I mean, they were still riding horses. I was there before the TV even came in. So I actually do have a story. I remembered when TV was first introduced to the island in St. Michael. And before that, everybody was on the street playing, and everybody was, hanging out and playing with the new American toys that we would bring because they didn't have any. They were waiting for the American kids to show up with all their goodies. So my brother and then suddenly, like one summer, the TV was introduced. There was one channel. It was called Escrava Isaura, which was a Brazilian channel. And of course, guess when they would air it? Dinner time. Like, why couldn't they do it like not during breakfast, lunch, or dinner time? So of course, my grandmother, who would spend days preparing, and we would eat, and fresh bread and fresh cheese that would be dropped off, and drinking milk that was just delivered, and from the cow in those metal containers. Suddenly the world stopped. I was like, where's everybody? Oh, we're watching the new TV show. I'm going, yeah, but it's lunchtime. My grandmother has really actually stopped making dinner and sat in front of the TV set, glued, watching this soap opera that just came from Brazil, Escrava Isaura. I'm like, that's weird. My grandmother is such a family person, and the food is so important, and family, and guess what? Suddenly her soap opera became more important. And I thought, wait a minute, I've been watching TV since I was born, and I'm not glued to the TV like she is. So I actually saw how TV was first introduced, destroyed families, because we weren't playing guitar and singing and talking like we used to, and the whole streets were deserted. I'm like, so my brother and I, who doesn't care about TV, because we're like, have it every day, all day long, all night long, we're like, why is everybody, we noticed that it changed society, that there was nobody out socializing, enjoying the weather, enjoying the sun, because everybody was glued to the TV. So, and then that's when I came back to America, and I banned General Hospital, and I banned TV altogether. I said, I'm not going to become one of these robotic, glued to TV all day long, when I could be spending time with myself or with friends and doing stuff and enjoying social interaction. But everybody's glued to their General Hospital and their soap operas, and the day goes by and life goes by. What were you doing during that time? So this vitamin C, crap. This is CVS. This is processed. I don't know what's in there, but they say it's vitamin C. I don't trust it. I wouldn't take it. It doesn't do a thing. What people do in Germany is they get intravenous with a drip, so the vitamin C goes right into you, and that's what I was doing in Germany in the 2000s. So, that was a long time ago. So why don't they have this here in America? That's my point. Second, Briggs vinegar. You need to take that once a day, at least in some water. That's really good for your tummy. The other thing for the nanonites, for those that don't know what that is, you'll have to look it up, but it's called borax. And I take a pinch of that, little pinch of borax in water, once, twice, 3 times a day. Just a little pinch in a big glass of water like that. Second is coffee. If you're going to have coffee, put some cardamom in it. That, according to Ayurveda, it will detox it. Don't make it so acidic. So use cardamom, a pinch of cardamom, fresh cardamom, again, Indian shop, in your coffee before you boil it. Now for the skin, face. I use soap-free soap. Did you hear the word soap? We don't want soap. Don't wash your foot. It's better off don't wash anything. It's better not even put foundation on your skin. You need the sun. This is herbal skin for all types, because there are special vata, kapha, and pitta. But for this one, it's Ayurvedic. You see? Ayurvedic. Parasite, soap-free. Rose water. What better than nature for your skin? Coconut oil. Because of the nanos. This. Baking soda. Borax. It's really good to bathe. And I have friends that will do a comment, I'm sure. Aloe vera gel. See? All nature. Not produced in a pharma. Not listed a bunch of stuff that you can't even read or you don't understand, and that was not a product from nature. That's why they want to destroy the land, so we can't cure ourselves, so we can get depopulated. Almond oil. If you're going to massage yourself or make oil to remove your skin, makeup or whatever, pure almond oil. All right? Almond oil. Definitely soap, only people that make soap, but goat's milk soap. And that's it for now. I will be sharing the recipe. Maybe I'll even make it while you guys watch. But everyone stay safe. Keep up the good fight. And most of all, calm, relaxing yoga. I'm a certified Reiki level 2 practitioner because we are frequency and healing, and we have to calm and meditate because we got to turn off the frequency, the too much noise. Stay away from the TV. If you're going to watch anything, only watch OAN. And of course, YouTube. Patriots are out there spreading news, up to date. Stay safe. We love you. Don't worry. We're praying for you.